Hey there, gang. Big Rob here. Just a guy over 50. Nobody special. Just hanging out here in Alaska. Fixing to go back to work for a little while, and then be off work for a little while again, doing the travel nurse thing. Trying to stay away from politics because it's irritating the piss out of me. And I'm not necessarily in distress, just super concerned about some things I've been hearing lately. My heart goes out to the Marines and their families who lost their lives in Afghanistan. And those of us who have served, we understand that sometimes, a bully just can't let you out the door without kicking you in the ass first. And so that's in my mind what happened is these guys saw an opportunity, their last chance to get a shot at Americans for a while, and they took it. And so quite a few civilians were killed and injured as well. And my heart goes out to them because, in many cases, they're just innocent folks and just trying to do the right thing. They saw a chance to come to the United States and they took it, and that's that. So the evacuation is over. It's up to the State Department now to get whoever Americans, supposedly according to our administration, decided to stay. But it's going to be up to them to reach out through their State Department and such, and through the State Department and such. I don't even know if we have consular services in Afghanistan anymore. But that being said, let's move on to a subject that has rubbed me the wrong way over the last 24, 48 hours. Not even the body's cold in the ground. The watch checker and his colleagues in Congress, the AOC types, the Ilhan Omar types, this Sharika Tlaib, whoever she is, these American-hating congresswomen, as such, have decided, and I don't know if this is just rumor mill, but I've been hearing it more in one place, that the Marine Corps are historically patriotic defenders of freedom. The Marine Corps should be investigated for white supremacy and disarmed. And I thought about that for a second, and I thought about what that means. And what that means, in my view, is that there are people in Congress who don't have any direct evidence that there are white supremacists in the Marine Corps, want to investigate the Marine Corps for white supremacy and thoughts of white supremacy and things of that nature. Like any organization, I'm sure you got a few bad apples, but anybody who has served in the military, whether it's Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, when things start out, you are all equally worthless. And I know that was the case in the 80s when I went in the Army, early 80s. Basic training was taught by 3 black drill sergeants and then another company out there on Tank Hill in South Carolina, Fort Jackson, South Carolina. I think we have one Asian guy, Nakamoto was his name, considered himself the basic rifle marksmanship master. That's what I remember about Drill Sergeant Nakamoto. I had a guy, Drill Sergeant Fox, he was in charge. Drill Sergeant Brodus, he was large and in charge, and a guy named Drill Sergeant Lewis, who was a little bit of a shorter stature, but by no means a soft man. And all 3 black, and I respected all of them the whole time. We got worked. They got in my face a number of times for perceived defiance on my part, which I did not, when I was 17, have a shortage of a defiant personality. But in no way, shape, or form did I ever feel like their training, their animus, their training discipline was ever racially motivated. Not a single time. I came from East Texas. We, I think, came to terms with our racial politics a long time ago. Found a way to live together in peace, in harmony, and in friendship. And now it seems that our politicians are insisting that racial disharmony exists in the Marine Corps and the military, up to and including our chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who ardently admits that he is some sort of white privileged, possibly racist piece of shit, whatever. I don't know. But the guy, he just needs to go. Here are my problems with the idea of investigating the Marine Corps for white supremacy. Number one, in the Marine Corps, if you've ever watched anything, whether it's YouTube videos or Full Metal Jacket or any of those movies that tend to try to show you sort of a realistic view of what life is like in Marine Corps basic training. You know that the guys who are coming off those buses are black, white, brown, green, orange, vermouth, whatever. They are all treated equally from the time their boots hit the ground or their shoes hit the ground. Their hair is all cut to the skin. They are all lined up, dressed right dress. They're all screamed at. They're all organized. They are all disciplined equally. Like I said, I wasn't a Marine. I never went to Marine Corps basic training. I just go on what I know. I've seen on YouTube of Discovery Channel videos and other videos that people have done and put on the internet with regards to Marine Corps basic training. And that's what I see. I see that regardless of your skin color, you are all equally worthless pieces of shit. And that is how you are brought down to your core base sort of instincts and rebuilt into the United States Marines. And I don't know, I'm sure there's a small percentage of folks where that training doesn't take. But vast majority of Marines that I've met during my service, not just in the Army, but at the VA, tough guys, tough motherfuckers, man. But recently, a Marine Corps Lieutenant Colonel got on and asked for accountability out of senior leadership, and he was relieved of his command and subsequently resigned from his commission. This is a guy who stood up for his Marines and is standing up for the country, and the Marine Corps paid him back by essentially firing him. So 17 years he served in a frontline unit, is my understanding, with Marines who put it on the line every day. And so anyway, he wanted these folks who screwed us in Afghanistan. He wanted these folks to be accountable, stand up. This is my fault. I'm taking responsibility, and deal with the repercussions from that. But that's not what's happened. Not a single person's been fired. Not a single person has been, as far as I know, reprimanded or reassigned other than this colonel, who his biggest crime was going public and saying, we need accountability in this regard. Disarming the Marine Corps. What a joke. What a joke. You're not going to disarm the Marine Corps. You're not going to intimidate one of the fiercest fighting forces that this country's ever known. And it's just not going to happen. The types of guys and gals who volunteer for the Marine Corps want to serve, and they want to serve their country, their fellow man, and they're doing it under the most hostile and austere conditions known. And people who have never been in the military, never owned a business, never been in any kind of leadership position, never been in charge of people, want to investigate and disarm these guys. It's a mistake. I think this will probably drive down the recruiting efforts of the Marine Corps. Guys who join the military now, it's hard to get quality candidates to join the Marine Corps. You can't even get a guy to sling burgers at Burger King for $15 an hour. So, I can imagine how tough it's going to be to get, I'm just going to move this camera just a little bit, to get guys to sign up, get them to sign up. So, what's their slogan going to be? Come join the Marine Corps, the few, the proud, the investigated. It doesn't make any sense to me. So this is a bad idea. But moreover, the idea that our politicians could even think about that kind of thing makes me wonder what they're afraid of, what they have in mind. I know what the communists are doing. It's obvious. This is a playbook. Pit these different groups that want to be victimized or think that they're victimized, pit them against each other, and that's how you seize government control. But make no mistake, once you assholes are no longer useful, you'll go in the camps too. You'll probably be the first ones to go. Disarming the Marine Corps, investigating Marine Corps, these young men and women aren't even cold and in the ground yet, and they're already talking this shit. So that's kind of my 2 cents about that. Let me know what you think if you have a comment about it, or if you don't want to talk about this kind of stuff, that's great too. But I'm worried about our country. I'm worried about putting people in charge who want to get rid of ICE and they want to just leave the border wide open and they want to leave a country like Afghanistan just wide open, leaving Americans behind. I worry about the political elite and how much more damage they can do to this country. So I don't know if you noticed it, but gas is nearly $4 a gallon. We just had a big hurricane down on the coast. It's kind of the breadbasket of the United States. To expect food prices and gas prices to skyrocket. Can't buy a car. Cars are way overpriced because the inventory is low. You got 50 ships sitting off the coast of California, out of Long Beach, because you can't bring them in. Not enough people. And so farmers, we've got farmers who are being paid by the government to destroy their crops. This is an artificially created food shortage in the country. So we've got a hurricane, farmers being paid to destroy their crops. And don't take my word for it, it's on YouTube. And then we've got 40, 50, 60 ships, these giant container ships loaded with supplies just sitting out there in Long Beach off the coast of California. So to recap, Afghanistan, we're done. Or at least some of us. There's a couple hundred Americans who aren't done. Marine Corps investigating for, Congress wants to investigate the Marine Corps for white supremacy, Hurricane Ida, kicking ass. I guess New Orleans is underwater again. I expect gas and food prices to through the roof. I believe a refinery was hit down there. And last but not least, farmers are getting paid to destroy their crops in America. Who knew? Anyway, this is just Big Rob, just a guy over 50, pointing a few things out. Hope you're paying attention, looking into things. COVID is it's on its way out. It's gone from a pandemic to an endemic. We're going to start seeing probably more pushes for different kinds of power. I understand. I just got information the CDC wants to investigate gun violence as a healthcare crisis in the United States. How about obesity? How about investigating that? Because obesity is killing way more people than gun violence. But, that's just my 2 cents. How about the food supply being GMOs, genetically modified? That's probably killing a few people. How about maybe we stop letting restaurants sell chemistry disguised as food? You know who you are, Golden Arches. Maybe we should stop a lot of things in this country, but gun violence isn't the problem they're playing out. It's just political bullshit. Hey, look over here while we're doing this over here. But the CDC wants the authority to study that. I don't think a single dime should be given to CDC to explore anything other than disease pandemics. That's their job. And maybe you should explore the value of gain of function research. I think that needs to go away. So anyway, Big Rob, just a guy over 50. Got my kid in college out here in Alaska and about to go back to work, do some nursing. And maybe when I do go back to work, I'll stop making stupid videos. You guys, peace.